Chris Swenson is entering his 7th season as the head coach of the women's swim team at Kean University, and under his direction, the team continues to get better. Chris joins me now to talk about what we can expect this year. Chris, thanks so much for taking the time this morning.
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
So first, Chris, talk to me about your swimming background, how you got started as a kid and how you wound up at Kean University.
My dad was a swimmer, so my brothers and I kind of all followed his path. My mom comes from a big track and field family, but that was something we learned early and often that was not for us. We were meant to be in the water, so we got our start early. I started as a 5-year-old at my summer league club and proceeded to swim for the YMCA in town, which my kids now swim for. It's kind of cool to watch them grow and love the sport, and just from there continued on to swim in college and never really thought I would make a career out of swimming. And here we are many years later, still involved and still loving it.
And what a career it is so far. So who were some of your biggest influences growing up, whether parents, coaches, athletes?
I've been really lucky. My parents, very involved in our lives, never missed a meet. Even now, my dad still comes to a lot of our meets. My mom comes to a bunch of the meets. I get to coach here with my brother. He's one of our volunteer assistant coaches. So they were always, at the forefront of my love of swimming. Had some great mentors. My club coach, Ed Forey, growing up, really made sure that I didn't fall through the cracks and gave me everything I needed to be successful. From there, my college coach, Tony Lisa, I connected with him in a way that I hadn't connected with the coach before. I ended up being his graduate assistant coach a couple years after I left Rowan as a swimmer. And then, as a coach, Tim Welsh at Notre Dame was instrumental and just kind of helping guide me. And also Rob Orr at Princeton University, who just got inducted into the ASCA Hall of Fame, got to spend 2 years with Rob and learned a lot from him as well. So they showed me the path and kind of just led me to build it my own way with a little bit of, what I learned from them along the way as well.
And you're continuing that path. Now, I know you graduated from Rowan University and you swam there some 20 odd years ago. How has coaching changed since then, if at all?
I think in general, the athletes are different in a good way. I think we've gotten smarter in terms of how we write practices, how we focus more on the quality over quantity. That's something that's continued to just get better throughout, my time as a coach. I've really learned a lot just working from some of the other coaches in terms of what is needed to be successful and to make sure that we're getting everything that the athletes need. But overall, swimming is swimming, and, you have to find those motivated athletes that want to continue to get better. And we've got 16 of them on our roster right now that are very hungry to have a big season for us.
Now, you had a lot of star swimmers on the team last year. I think 4 were all conference. Who's returning and who are some of the newcomers looking to literally make a splash this season?
Yeah, we have back our 100 freestyle conference champion and Emma Billar. She's one of our captains. Tegan Powell's our other co-captain. Every single person on this roster has the ability to score in 3 events at our conference championship. So, I don't want to leave anybody out in terms of, who the star swimmers are. And in terms of newcomers, we've got a loaded incoming class. We have a graduate transfer in Lainey Fenton. She's going to score in 3 events, and we'll factor into relays as well. And Braylon Wilson, who is also a freshman, she's going to be in the mix for an NCAA title in the next couple of years with her ability to sprint and swim fly.
Now, are there any swim meets you're looking forward to this year and any you think will pose a challenge?
We have a lot of meets we're looking forward to. This year is a very busy schedule. Our home opener is versus Stevens on October 25th. That's also going to coincide with the breast cancer awareness meet, something that's very close to me and my family and some of our athletes who have gone through that. So, I get to wear the pink ribbon on my sleeve here, and then we have our F&M invite. That's new for us this year. That's going to be a lot of teams that we'll see at the end of the year as well, but it's going to pose a pretty big challenge for us mid-year and kind of see how we stack up nationally and regionally. And then, of course, the NJAC Championship, which will be held in Hampton, Virginia this year for the first time. So really looking forward to those 3. And then if all goes well, I'm hoping to have several athletes continue on to Greensboro at NCAAs to close out the season in March.
Now, I ask this next question a lot to coaches when I interview them. As athletes, you teach them to be winners, but how are you trying to make them better as people?
Easier said than done. We have some great kids on our roster. They are great academically. They listen well. They work really hard. They work well together. They're very respectful. And the things that we try to instill in them is just let them know that as they are working through and figuring things out from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior year, those skills that they're taking and applying to their work ethic and practice are things that they can take with them forever. So, in terms of if I say practice at 6 a.m., they're on deck stretching at 5:45, right? Never a bad thing to be early. And they do a really good job of just working well together and continuing to push each other. And that's going to carry well for them moving forward into their professional careers. And we have some kids on our team that have some very big professional goals. And it's exciting to watch them work towards those and grow as athletes and as people.
Well, Chris, thanks for all you're doing with them, and thanks so much for taking the time this morning. I hope we get to talk soon, and best of luck this year.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Head over to ONNJ.com for the latest news and sports anytime.